What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mo Awesome here. Thank you for joining us today. Today we are going back. We're making this retro. We are going back to our roots, the skills videos, the mountain bike tech tips, skills, all that action. We have gotten a lot of requests for these, so it seems like a lot of people are practicing skills out there. Sometimes when you slow it down a little bit and go to certain sections of trails, you can actually work on a couple of skills that's gonna help your riding overall. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna find a few sections of trails, break them down, teach you guys some skills, and hopefully make everyone better on a bike. Now, before we get into this video, we are curious, what type of videos do you guys wanna see in terms of the skills? I know there's gonna be a lot of people asking for a wheelie one. That one will be coming soon because Hannah actually wants to learn how to wheelie. So as soon as this video hits 1,000 likes, we will drop the next skills video. So be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel.
Also, you guys, before we get into the video, yes, I am in a different spot than what you just saw. We kind of forgot to film this. I do want to say that I'm going to be chiming in throughout the video, and I'm going to kind of provide some insight as someone who has more recently struggled with some of these sections of trail. And yeah, I'm just going to give some additional tips and some things that have really helped me ride these sections. But without further ado, let's get into tip number one.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Okay, you guys, so we've made it to our first section of trail that we're gonna break down today, and I know what you're thinking. Too gnarly, too scary, too chunky, but bear with me. When this section of trail is broken down, it's actually a lot less intimidating than it seems, and also you can carry some of these skills to trails later on as well. Now, breaking this section down, you're gonna have three elements. The first is gonna be the entry. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is essentially come into it nice and in control on both brakes to kind of get your speed into check before you drop into it. If you drop into it with too much speed, what's gonna happen is you're setting yourself up for failure down the line. Because as you go further down this trail, as you can tell, there's a lot more chunk where you really do want traction to be optimized. And if you're flying down and then slamming on the brakes, your tires are skidding, traction won't be there. So coming into this nice and in control, looking up and eyeing your line, you're remaining calm and trying to stay relaxed. If your body is tense, then what's gonna happen is you're just gonna get on those brakes, you're gonna seize them, you're gonna lose all that traction coming down, and a lot of that confidence is gonna be gone out the window. Coming in, getting my speed in check, looking where I wanna go, speed is in control, looking up, looking out.
So, Hannah, disclaimer for this section of trail, one thing I have a tendency to do is get really excited and really ahead of myself and get too much speed into this rock garden. And once you get too much speed into this rock garden, it's really hard to save it. But yeah, just don't worry about going fast. Don't worry about showing off the camera if someone's filming. It looks a lot better if you can keep your speed in check and take it a little bit slower and more in control.
Okay, so we're at the second section of trail today that we are gonna break down, and I know what you're thinking. Another rock garden, Mo? But I promise you this one is different, and we're gonna go over how to ride this section, why it's different than the previous rock garden, and some skills that you guys could benefit to help you guys tackle it. So this is a rock garden on a very popular trail called Rocket, and like I mentioned earlier, it is different than the rock garden that we just sessioned on a trail called Stair Steps. The difference is in how you approach both of these. So on the Stair Steps rock garden, you definitely don't want to come into that one with so much speed. The name of the game over there is nice and in control. Now with this rock garden, speed is your friend, because that's what's helping you get over the rocks, get through the chunky sections, and keeping you safe overall. And as you enter this trail, the thing that that you want to keep in mind is looking up past the chunk. If you're focused down right at your tire, this trail will overwhelm you a ton. So it's very important that you're looking up past the chunk at where you want to go. The other thing is going to be the brakes. Now, we're on stair steps where we were a little bit more on the brakes to try to keep our speed in check. On this one, yes, we're going to be on the brakes, but it is really important to kind of ease off the front brakes slightly as you're going over the chunk, especially while you're looking up past it. And that's really going to help you and really give you that momentum you need to carry yourself down this rock garden. In terms of how we're attacking this as well, a big thing is going to be shifting our body weight back a little bit behind the saddle. And the reason we're going to be doing that is to really plant that bike down and not give ourselves that over the bar feeling that we might experience as we get into some of these chunkier dip parts, where it might feel, if you are a little bit more over the front of the bike, that you're not as stable. So we're going to shift our weight back slightly. We're looking up past the chunk. We're easing off of that front brake as we're going through it. And the biggest tip I can also give you guys on this trail is try to keep your lines as straight as possible. All right, coming in, looking where I want to go, shifting my body weight back, eyes up, letting off the front brake.
So, Hannah disclaimer, I actually grew up in Orange County and I started riding at a really young age because both of my parents both ride bikes. And I think the first time I saw this trail, I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. Maybe we can put some pictures in here for nostalgic reasons. But I'm sure I had to walk the whole thing because I was just a baby. But it took me a really long time regardless to try to figure out this section and figure out how to ride it comfortably. One weird thing about this trail is that there's a bunch of different grooves and lines you can take. And sometimes you might find yourself popping in and out of those lines and you might try to like tense up and like freak out. And when you tense up on a bike, you're probably gonna crash or you're probably gonna scare yourself. But if you keep your body nice and loose, I found that really helps me, and not to freak out too much. But yeah, I think that's just some good mountain bike advice in general.
All right, so we're at the third section of trail that we're gonna be breaking down today, and I know what you guys are thinking. What are you guys even taking us down? Because I know, it looks intimidating, but this up and over rock is actually not that bad, and we're gonna go ahead and break it down and help you guys get up it with ease. Okay, so even though this looks really intimidating, there are a few rules that if you follow, it should help out a ton with getting you up and over. The first thing as you come into this is gonna be looking up at where you wanna go. Now, I know that sounds familiar, and I probably sound like a broken record, but that is something that really is going to follow you throughout your whole mountain bike career. Now, as you make your way towards the rock, you want to compress the fork a tad and shift that body weight back. Can break this down even further in a later video. Let us know in the comment section if you want a manual video, but like I said, you're compressing the fork, you're shifting that body weight back to bring that front wheel up, and now as that bike is basically on the rock, what I want you to do is to shift that body weight forward slightly to get yourself up onto the rock. Now, as soon as you're on the rock, the job is not finished yet because there is an extra credit to this section, and that's making the climb that follows.
Hannah disclaimer for this section of chill: after the whole coronavirus pandemic is over and you and your buddies are on a ride and you finally want to try and hit this, have them stand next to the trail. If for some reason you can't quite get your wheel all the way up, even with a good amount of speed, they'll be there to catch you, hopefully, or at least cushion your fall.
I could be learning, you could be yearning to see what's behind these closed doors. But I promise you,
Well, you guys, those were the section of trails that we're gonna be breaking down for today's video. Hopefully you guys found this video informative and you guys learned a few things that you can take to the trail to help you improve on your skills.
Let us know, are there any other skills you guys want us to cover, any other sections of trail? And I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions for the glasses I'm wearing, and I'm wearing the Oakley Sutros in the Prism Jade. You can find them on SpoilerX. We have a coupon code, shameless plug, it's in the description of the video. But until next time, you guys, ride awesome. Phew!